Hello, everybody. This is the second week in Advent in our countdown to Christmas. So, I have another story for you. And this week's story is called Have You Seen Christmas? Christmas Eve dawned cold and grey over the city. A bitter wind shook the Christmas lights that were strung across High Street and sent paper cups rolling along the sidewalk. It swirled snow like white confetti around the steeples of city churches, and it picked up newspapers and flattened them against colorful shop windows. In the sheltered doorway of a department store, a small, scruffy dog named Christmas sniffed the cold air with interest and went in search of something to eat. The dog left behind his young master, fast asleep, huddled inside his sleeping bag. There he stayed until the first shoppers disturbed him, and he awoke to find his only friend gone. Just around the corner, Benny and Mia were enjoying the Christmas holidays, playing hide and seek around their parents' fruit and vegetable stalls. "Come on, I can see you," shouted Benny. Mia's hat bobbled up from behind a box of oranges. "Hey, Dad," she cried. "Why do you need so many oranges?" "You'll see," he replied mysteriously. "Now why don't you two get out from under my feet? It's going to be a busy day. Go and find your friend Luke. I think I saw him in a doorway by the bus stop." "Okay," said Benny. "Then we can see Christmas, his funny little dog. I love that dog." Benny and Mia set off toward the main road. They waved to Jamie, who was just coming out of the church hall. "Why does Luke live on the street?" asked Mia. "Doesn't he have a home like us?" "No, Luke is homeless. It is very sad," explained Benny. "He came to the city hoping to find a job, but it was more difficult than he thought." "At least he's got his dog," said Mia. Benny nodded. "Luke got him at the Animal Rescue Center. Someone bought him for Christmas and then couldn't take care of him." "I wish he was my dog," said Mia. "He's the friendliest dog in the world." Coming round the corner, Benny and Mia saw Luke. He was slouched against a shop window, holding his head in his hands. "What's the matter, Luke?" Luke turned his pale face toward them. "It's my dog," he said. "Christmas. Christmas is missing. He never left my side before now." "Oh, no." The children stared at one another in dismay. "Why don't you look for him?" said Mia. Luke shook his head. "He might come back while I'm out looking for him." "Don't worry, Luke," said Benny. "We'll go and look for your dog. We'll bring him back. You just wait and see." Benny and Mia began to run along the sidewalk and almost collided with a lady coming out of a department store. She dropped several bags and bent down to pick them up. "Sorry," said Mia, "but we're looking for Christmas. Have you seen Christmas?" "Have I seen Christmas?" repeated the lady. "I should think so. Christmas is in there." She pointed to the busy store. "Thank you," said the children, and they went in through the heavy glass doors and found themselves among counters displaying handbags and scarves and gloves. "I can't see Christmas," said Benny, bending down and looking between the feet of all the shoppers. "Maybe he's gone up to the toy department." At the top of the stairs, the children pushed their way through crowds gathered around favorite toys. Two children were arguing over a robot. "I saw it first," pulling at the legs. "Dad said I could have it," yelled the other. "Put it back, both of you," their father said. "Come on, Mia," said Benny, taking her hand. "Christmas definitely isn't here. Let's go outside." A security guard was standing in the shop doorway. "Excuse me," said Benny. "We're looking for Christmas. Have you seen Christmas?" "Well now," said the man, scratching his head. "Have you been down to the city square? I'd say Christmas was there." The children ran along the sidewalk. Their warm breath hung in the air like tiny clouds. Turning the corner into the square, they gasped at the sight of a tall Christmas tree lit with hundreds of lights. Underneath it, children skated on the ice rink and twirled round and round, with the music blaring from a loudspeaker. "Wow, that's beautiful," said Mia. "But I still can't see Christmas," said Benny. "We'll have to go back soon. Luke will be waiting for us." They went back along the crowded sidewalk, wondering what they would say to Luke. Above their heads, star decorations were on the lampposts. When they were nearly back to Luke's doorway, they saw that Jamie had stopped to talk to him. "Jamie," cried the children, "we've been looking for Christmas, but we can't find him anywhere." "I see," said Jamie. "So Christmas has gone missing. Well, I think I might know where we could find Christmas. Come with me." Luke got to his feet and followed the puzzled children into the adjoining street and down the steps that led into the hall under the church. As they opened the door, light and warmth flooded out, and a delicious smell of hot sausages wafted under their noses. Men and women of all ages, dressed in old coats, sweaters, and shawls, sat at a long table decorated with bowls of oranges. They were eating steaming plates of food served by a team of church helpers. And under the table, his ears pricked up and his tail thumping the floor, sat a small, scruffy dog, a sausage poking out of his mouth. "There's Christmas," shouted Luke, running in out of the cold to give him a big hug. Jamie was right. Later, Jamie lit the candles and invited everyone to crowd around a beautiful nativity set. "At the first Christmas," began Jamie, "there was nowhere for Mary and Joseph to stay in Bethlehem. They were homeless. The streets were bustling full of people who had traveled there for the census. No one had time for them. There was no room for them at the inn, but Jesus was born in a stable because the innkeeper tried to help them. Please stay now as long as you like. There'll be hot drinks for everyone, and Christmas lunch will be provided tomorrow." People started to help cleaning up. "Come home with us for Christmas," Benny said to Luke. "I know Dad wouldn't mind. There's always enough vegetables to eat." "Oh, yes," said Mia. "Then Christmas can come to our house too." Luke walked with them in silence through the snow. "I found Christmas today," he said after a while. "I was cold and hungry and miserable, but the people in the church gave me dry, warm clothes and hot food to eat. I lost my dog and had nowhere to go, but you helped me find him and are letting me come home with you. You've all made me feel that someone cares about me. We were all looking for Christmas, but it's right here." Benny thought about the store full of people and the children arguing over the toys. Mia thought about the snowy scene and the tree with all its lights. Luke was right. And Christmas, the small, scruffy dog, who liked sausages, barked and wagged his tail. That's the end. That was a very special story, wasn't it? Because the children were looking for a little dog called Christmas, and every time they asked the people had they seen Christmas, they thought they meant Christmas, and they sent them to different places, like the department store where people were buying and buying and buying, or to the Christmas tree where people were skating and having fun. But then when they finally found Christmas, the little dog Christmas, they found that there was a special Christmas spirit in that place because people were helping other people. People were helping the homeless people or people who didn't have very much food. Kind of like we at Trinity, sometimes we collect food, and maybe you're doing the reverse Advent collection to collect food to give to share. That's a way that we can make Christmas special for other people, kind of like in the storybook. But the little Christmas dog, who was called Christmas, was very happy too, wasn't he? Because he found a special sausage. And the children made Christmas special for Luke by inviting him home with them. So I was thinking, they were looking for signs of the little dog Christmas. But during Advent, we look for other kinds of signs that tell us Christmas is coming, don't we? And hopefully you've been using your Advent devotion and the Advent coloring picture, or you have an Advent ring, and maybe you've been watching on the service when they light the Advent candles. This week, the Advent candle on your picture is the word peace. Okay, this is the second week, so it's the candle of peace. So I've put a special coloring page for you on the website for peace. And then as we've been talking about searching for things, I've put a nativity word search so you can look for some of the words that are connected with Advent and the nativity story. And here I have a Christmas angel dot to dot where you have to follow the numbers so that you can make sure the angel picture is all complete. And then this little page talks about that Mary and Joseph had to make that journey to Bethlehem, and they went on a donkey. And on this, it's got the donkey, but down here, it's got lots of pictures of different things. You have to decide which of those things you think they might have taken on the journey with them. So see if you can search among that to see what kind of things they might have taken. And finally, I thought it would be fun for you to make this little angel. It's very simple. It's made just with a cup, I've got a styrofoam cup. You could use a plain white paper cup. And then what I did to make the face, I just turned the cup upside down like that and drew round it to make the circle. I drew a little face. And then if you see if your mom or someone has some little doilies, and I cut it in half, and then you just stick it on the back. You can color this if you want, or you could maybe find doilies that are colored. And then I got a sparkly pipe cleaner. This is cut in half because you don't very much. You bend the top part round and wind it around, make a little circle, and then just bend the circle down so it sticks like that. And then that will stick into the top of the cup so that it becomes like a little halo. So there'll be a picture of this on the website too, so that you can see what it looks like. So that's a very easy angel for you to make. You could make lots of them, all different colors, or however you want to do it. Just something fun for you and your family to do. So I hope that you have a very special week. Let's pray together before we go. Dear God, we love you. We thank you for loving us. Help us to remember the special things of Christmas, but also how we are called to help others so that they can have a good Christmas too. Amen. I will see you next time. Goodbye.